chunk! Oh! Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That was sick.
Yo, what up guys? So, I figured I was gonna double dip with this video today. My last part, I had two 360 hard flips in the part. So I figured I'd just talk about both of them in one video instead of just, you know, making two separate videos about it. Yeah, cause I mean, I did one of them I kind of did because of the other one, in a sense. But yeah, anyway. So the first one we have here is it's down this kind of infamous rock gap in Sacramento.
I was not expecting that one, bruh.
And I had been to this gap before. Like, I have skated this before in previous years, and surprisingly, like, I know this gap doesn't look very big, but for what it is and like the run up you have, it's definitely bigger than you think. And like, anyone who's ever skated it that I've talked to has said the same thing. Like, it's kind of deceiving. Even when you're there, it's kind of deceiving. I remember like where you pop, it's like you don't have to pop over anything, but it's like there's a slight bit of like a flat gap on top, and then it drops to where the rocks are, and then there's a curve, like a flat curve at the bottom. So that alone, like, it makes it longer than you think it is. Like, I remember, like, it was such a weird phenomenon. Like, I was like, I forget what, I did a couple tricks there. I forget which trick, but I kept like popping too late because I kept like, the flat gap made me, because the flat gap isn't on, I sound so weird describing this, but yeah, the flat gap is like below where you pop, but like, it's weird. It kept making me think like I could still pop later than I was, and I would always miss it and like mess everything up. So it took me a while to get used to. Anyway though, it is the perfect spot though. Like, the ground up top is good, it's smooth, and it just looks good on film. So anyway, I didn't even, the 360 hard flip down this gap, I didn't even like, that wasn't even like a trick on my list for this part. I just ended up, I was in Sacramento for, well, to be honest with you guys, I was supposed to skate Wallenberg that weekend, but we weren't able to get like the right roll-in, and the roll-in we had just it wasn't a roll-in, it was a quarter pipe, which quarter pipe doesn't really get you the right amount of speed as that roll-in does. So I don't know, you could say I chickened out, but if I don't feel comfortable with the amount of speed I have at Wallenberg, I'm not going to skate it. And for the record, I never have jumped down it. And I went there, and I can't picture myself propelling my body that far, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna skate that. But who knows, maybe one day. Anyway, so yeah, I was up there to skate that originally, but that's in San Francisco, but my friend I was staying with, he lives in Sacramento. So I figured, go to that spot. I'd been there before. I'm like, maybe I can get something here. And, or actually, I think they just convinced me to go there. Like, my one friend wanted me to 360 hard flip it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. I don't have one for my part yet. So I did that fairly quick, because I remember I was just like sessioning it that day. I did a couple other tricks for like Instagram on it. And then just, yeah, warmed up to the 360 hard flip and did it somewhat easy. So whenever clips happen like that, they don't feel like real clips. Like, I don't know. I was hyped that I did it, but I wasn't like super satisfied. It was like, I knew I could do that. It wasn't like, oh, I'm like worried. I don't know if I'm gonna land this. Whenever I get that feeling, it's kind of like, all right, when I'm intimidated of a trick, I know it's worth it. So anyway, I got that clip, whatever. And then months later, my part is like, I think I either got my last trick or I was very close to finishing my part. And I'm like, man, you know, people kind of like know that I do 360 hard flips a lot. I want to do one on a bigger spot. Like the Sacramento spot is cool. It's like a famous spot, but I want to do it on something bigger. And I had been skating at this 11 stair in Koreatown recently, and I was like, you know, this is pretty big set. I think I could huck a 360 hard flip down. And I also double traded it in the same part. I did that almost a year before the 360 hard flip. And just going off that, I'm like, I knew I could probably do it, but at the same time, it was scary. Like, I'm like, oh, well, this might be a battle. But it's funny, I don't usually do this, but that day for the 360 hard flip on the 11, it was the end of the day. It was almost dark, and like I was with a lot of homies, and they were drinking, and one of them offered me a drink, and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't really drink before I go try tricks. And he's like, oh, maybe we'll loosen you up a little bit. Just don't drink too much. So I drank like one White Claw, and that was like the perfect amount for me to like get loosened up and just like not care about committing, because I committed to this trick way quicker than I normally would. Like within probably like 5 minutes of trying it, I stuck one. That's like kind of unheard for, like a set like that big with that type of trick for me. So yeah, I stuck it pretty quick, and then yeah, this one came pretty easy too. Same, like, wasn't multiple trips, just same day I tried it, I did it. And as you can see, when I rode away, we were all pretty stoked, and yeah, celebrated afterwards, and it was a good day. But yeah, those are the stories behind the 360 hard flips in my last part. Hopefully next part I have a bigger and better one than those. All right, anyway, see you later, guys.